In the lush green hills of KwaZulu-Natal, a mighty kingdom once stood, fierce, proud, and unbowed. The year was 1879, and the Zulu nation, descendants of the great Shaka Zulu, were about to face the full force of the British Empire. This is the tale of courage and tragedy, the disastrous Anglo-Zulu War. The Zulu Kingdom was forged in blood and fire. Under Shaka Zulu, it had become the most powerful force in southern Africa. His tactics, discipline, and leadership turned scattered clans into a feared and organized nation. Many years later, King Cetshwayo ruled the kingdom. He was wise, patient, and strong. He wanted peace for his people, but he was always ready for war. Meanwhile, across the seas, the British Empire had grown greedy. Their eyes turned to southern Africa. With diamonds discovered and power to be gained, the British wanted to control all the region, including the Zulu land. But one thing stood in their way: the proud independence of the Zulu nation. Sir Bartle Frere, the British High Commissioner, believed the Zulu Kingdom had to fall for British plans to succeed. So he created a reason for war. In December 1878, he sent an ultimatum to King Cetshwayo. The Zulu were ordered to disband their military system, abandon their traditions, and accept British rule within 30 days. But Cetshwayo refused. He would not be bullied. The Zulu would not surrender without a fight. And so, in January 1879, the British Army marched into Zulu territory. They were confident, perhaps too confident. With guns, cannons, and modern supplies, they believed they would crush the Zulu within days. But they did not understand their enemy. The Zulu warriors were disciplined, fast, and fearless. They knew the land, and they fought with the pride of their ancestors. On January 22nd, 1879, the Zulu struck. At the foot of the great Isandlwana mountain, over 20,000 Zulu warriors encircled the British camp. The British soldiers, unprepared and poorly positioned, were overwhelmed. The Zulu, using only spears, cowhide shields, and clever tactics, defeated an army with guns and cannons. More than 1,300 British troops were killed. It was the worst defeat the British Empire had ever suffered at the hands of an African army. Spears had defeated an empire. The world was stunned, but the war was not over. That same night, the Zulu attacked a small British outpost at Rorke's Drift. Just over 100 British soldiers defended a small mission station. They fought with desperation and held the line against thousands of Zulu attackers. The Zulu fought bravely, but were forced to retreat. Back in Britain, the disaster at Isandlwana was quietly hidden, while the defense of Rorke's Drift was turned into a heroic tale. Medals were awarded, stories were told. But in Zululand, the pain of war had only just begun. The British, humiliated, sent more troops, thousands more. With machine guns, artillery, and reinforcements, they returned to Zululand with vengeance in their hearts. In July 1879, they marched on the royal capital of Ulundi. The Zulu fought bravely, but could not stop the tide. British firepower destroyed their formations. Ulundi was burned to the ground. The Zulu Kingdom had fallen. King Cetshwayo was captured and sent into exile. The proud Zulu nation was torn apart. Their lands were divided and ruled by British-appointed chiefs. The kingdom built by Shaka was no more. But the spirit of the Zulu people did not die. Though defeated, they had shown the world that African warriors could fight with honor, strategy, and unmatched courage. The Battle of Isandlwana remained a symbol that Africa would not bow without resistance. The Anglo-Zulu War was a tragedy, a war that should never have happened. But it was also a story of pride, sacrifice, and strength. The kind of story that echoes across generations. And though the empire thought it had won, it was the Zulu spirit that lived on, in the hearts of the people, in the stories of the land, and in the beating drums of Africa. This was the story of the disastrous Anglo-Zulu War.